Girl, the guy who said he didn't have social media, the guy who's about to get married, the guy who just had a 3-month-old baby. Look who pops up on my For You page. Girl, the power of social media. Today's video is going to be a story time. Grab your snacks. Girl, thank you for tuning into my channel. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, comment down below. Also, don't forget to follow me on my socials at Liz Glams. It's gonna be a cute little get ready with me. I'm gonna do my makeup and we're gonna chit chat a little bit about a time that, girl, I found out that I was talking to a married. Let's go ahead and get into the tea. Y'all know me. I like a clean, natural looking face. Just a natural, like everyday type of makeup look. I haven't went makeup shopping in so long. So honestly, I don't feel the need to show y'all what I'm using because it's kind of embarrassing. Like I'm using the same products. When I first moved to LA, I was trying to just like really scope out the scene and figure out like, okay, what do I need to do to like, how is dating out here? Everybody kept telling me like, oh, dating life sucks in LA. Like it's just trash. Like, you know, don't even like waste your time. And I was like, that's weird. Like, why are people saying that it sucks? So at the time I was working at a restaurant and I was a hostess at a restaurant. This is around when I first moved out here. I was talking to like my coworkers because again I was working at this restaurant and it was like it was my first job from when I moved to LA. The only people who I really was talking to were people who I worked with because again it was a pandemic, you know, nobody was allowed outside, you know, LA was outside but not really. Like we had the most restrictions, so it was really like you was really only seeing the people that you work with and that was it. Mostly everybody who I had met was all from here, was all from LA or California, different parts of California. So a lot of us though, we were like we were just new generally to the area. But the ones who were from here, or the ones, no, I want to say the people who weren't from here, they generally all would say like, oh, you should try a dating app called Hinge. I don't think Facebook dating was out at the time, but I know that a lot of people were talking about Hinge and BLK. So BLK is a app for primarily black singles who are looking to, you know, I guess like meet other black singles, link up, hook up, whatever. So, and at this time, I want to say I was also on Bumble, but I wasn't on Bumble dating because I know Bumble has like a dating app. It has like a dating site and it also has like a side where you can be friends. So I was on Bumble a lot and, you know, just meeting new people. Somebody told me to try out BLK, so I kept seeing like ads for it. You know how our phones are, like our phones be listening to us. I download the app and I get on there. Fast forward, I meet this guy. I meet him and, you know, we exchanged numbers, we started talking and everything. During this time, it was a pandemic, so it was hard to meet up places and go and, you know, because a lot of places were closed. You really couldn't do like dining. You had to do like outdoor options. Not even outdoor, because I remember at this time, this was kind of like in the beginning slash mid of the pandemic. And so you really weren't able to like go places and eat out. It really wasn't any of that going on. So you really just had to like order your food and go. Like the restaurant I was working at, like it was just outside only. So anyway, we're getting to know each other, chit chat and everything. My biggest issue with dating in LA, and this could be anywhere, but I'm just saying like I really noticed it when I moved to LA and I started like dating, because when I was back home, I was in a relationship for a while, so I really hadn't been dating, and then this was like pre-pandemic, so I didn't really know. I feel like dating has tremendously changed a lot with the pandemic and COVID and everything. Like I feel like a lot of people who were dating previously before the pandemic and now after, they say that dating is completely different. From my experience, we started, I think I met him in, I want to say like September. I met this guy in September and I had moved in June, so you know I had been here for a little while, but I really wasn't focusing on dating. Like I was just trying to like get acquainted with the city. Like I'm new to the city, I don't know anybody, I'm trying to figure everything out, I'm trying to find where everything is. Stuff is closed, it's the pandemic, like you get the picture. I found that it was really like hard to be consistent with people. Like for some reason consistency was very hard for people. I talk to people for like 2 or 3 days and then I would just not hear anything, like, and then you hit that person up or you try to call them or whatever and y'all just, you know, you just lose contact. I'm the type of person like, baby, if you it's 3 strikes and you're done. You don't really know it, but you on probation. Like, you gotta pass that 90-day period before I start getting crazy with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it is. You don't really reveal who you really are until you feel like you made it to that point with somebody. He was just hella inconsistent at first. So, well, throughout the whole time, this man was very inconsistent. We would text and then I wouldn't hear from him, and then it would be like months, you know, maybe like a month or so, something would go by, and then he would like randomly text me and be like, you know, hey, what's up, like, let's link up. I don't know, like, I really wasn't taking him serious, so I really like didn't care that he was being inconsistent, because I was just like, I'm doing me at the end of the day. So I don't really care that you're being inconsistent, because I'm not taking you serious regardless. So until I see that you're going to actually be serious with me, then I will start to be serious with you. But the inconsistency, like, that is one of like the hugest, I think, cons with being in LA and trying to date, is just trying to like to just be consistent. Like, people are just not consistent here. And I think that's everywhere, but I think here it's like a different level. Like, people are just hella like busy. I think that a lot of people are just out in LA to just have fun, but a lot of people are also in LA to pursue their dreams and to, you know, make business moves. So I get it and I understand it. Like, at the end of the day, I wasn't looking for like anything serious. So but it was just something that I quickly picked up on. And I feel like LA has this stereotype of like people being hella flaky here, and so I kind of see that as well. So, you know, it was just like he was just like hella inconsistent for some reason. And you know what? Me doing my brows on camera, like, that's wild, cuz I do not do my brows on camera. Like, ooh, baby, brows takes a different level of concentration, but I'm trying to finesse this. I really wasn't tripping though, cuz I was just like, again, I'm not taking you serious, so I'm gonna play the game with you. And when I'm ready to be serious, then you just gonna get cut off if you can't keep up. You know what I mean? We would text and then we would talk about linking up. But for some reason, I feel like he would just always like play games. Like, something would come up. And he had a valid excuse most of the times, because again, stuff would be closed. But my thing was like, what is it that you want? Like, for me, like, with dating or just like meeting people, I always try to figure out like, what is it that you really want? Like, what's the purpose of you like being out here like meeting people and like dating? Like, are you dating to marry? Are you just looking for friends? Are you looking for a good time? Like, what is it that you're looking for? Because if not, you know, if you don't establish that, then you might be disappointed. I remember when we were talking, you know, he was just saying like, you know, I'm just kind of like going with the flow. I'm going with the flow of things, and I'm not really like looking for anything serious. And I'm like, cool, because I'm not really looking for anything serious either, because again, like, I got different things going on with me, and I'm not really trying to be into nothing serious. Like, I didn't move to across the country to be in a serious relationship. Like, that's not what I wanted to do. And I'm like, all right, cool. You know, like, I can respect that. I want to say like a few months had gone by, and he had texted me and was like, hey, like, let's link up. And then every single time, girl, when I tell you, every single time it would fall through. Like, something would happen. Like, he would text me the next day and be like, oh, my bad, something came up, or but it just was always like weird. And so I'm not stupid like by a long shot, so I usually already can sense when something is off with you. But again, I'm gonna play the game with you, so we just gonna both be playing games. It came to a point where I was just like, okay, well, I ain't even gonna answer the phone no more, because you're like, that's annoying. Like, you don't respect my time. Fast forward to a few months. Basically, it was like this repetitive cycle with him, and something always seemed off with him. Like, I don't know why, but it seemed like, you know, he would hit me up like at sporadic times. Like, the most randomest times, he would just text me and be like, yeah, like, what you doing tonight, or what you doing today? And I would be like, nothing, like, link up. And then it would be the same cycle. Like, he wouldn't like text back, or when it came time to us like actually linking, you know, it would be like something that he would just like something came up all the time. So I was just like, you know what, like whatever. I'm over this. Like I'm over this. One day I was like what's the issue? Like what's going on? I'm trying to remember the story. Low-key, I'm trying to remember the story because it was kind of like a while ago. But the most recent part of the story is like what I remember the most. Ooh, girl, it's nothing like using a new beauty blender. Oh, OMG. It's nothing like using a new beauty blender. January of 2021. Now it's a whole new year. Now, mind you, I had saved his number. So I had saved his number, which was weird and rare. I never saved numbers, but for some reason I saved his number. I don't know why. Every time he would text me, I would, you know, respond because I knew who it was. You know, we were catching up and everything, and I was just like, oh, he was just like, yeah, like, it's crazy that, you know, I still hit you up. Because granted, every time we ever talked, it would be from him texting me. I never made an attempt to contact him because he was so inconsistent, and that's just a huge turn off for me. It was just like, you know, I still have your number and everything, and we never met, you know, I really want to meet you, yada, yada, yada. So I'm like, yeah, I mean, you're like always flaking, blah, 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 blah. And yeah, like, that's why we don't be meeting up. I want to say, like, we were supposed to link up, and then it didn't happen, of course. Girl, at some point, you just stop caring, and you just go on about your life, which I had been did. So I was just like, if it happened, it happened. If it don't, like, girl, I don't care because you just inconsistent. Fast forward. Now we are in September. I have completely forgot about this man. Like, completely forgot. Sir, why is my number still in your phone? The red flags was basically every time I would call, the phone would go right to voicemail. The phone would go to voicemail or he wouldn't answer. He either would go to voicemail or he just wouldn't answer the phone. But you were just texting me. Like, don't you hate when somebody's texting you and then you call them and they don't even answer the phone and you're like, huh? Like, you was just texting me. Your phone is in your hand. Like, I know it is because you were just texting me. And then another red flag was that every time he would reach out to me and text me, this looks hella orange, but it's because my light is not really orange like this, I promise. Every time he would text me, he would ask me for a picture, which I was like, this is weird. Like, what are you doing with these pictures? Like, every time, y'all. I really feel like he kept my number. He kept my number in his phone, but he would delete our text messages. But he would keep my number in his phone for some reason, like just to reach out to me. I don't know. But I'm like, all these pictures, bro, like, and I didn't catch on to it until the end. But I'm just like, this is weird. Like, why are you always asking me for pictures? And I think I said that too. I was like, why are you always like asking me for pictures and being weird? Like, and then he would send me pictures and they would just be like weird. Like, everything about this man was just weird. It was off. Like, it was just weird. Now we are in August of 2021. It's a Friday night. I'm in my room. I'm on my computer and I'm like kind of like working. I'm doing something on my computer. I'm working. And he texts me. Girl, his number is still saved. I see his name pop up and I'm like, okay. I'm like, what do he want? I'm like, but it's I think it was like a Saturday or Friday night. It was the weekend. So I was like, he probably just want to link up because it's the weekend. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen or heard from this man in months. Like, what he want? That's what I was thinking. And so I think I texted him back and he was just like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, hey, like, nothing, you know, like, what's up? You know, we haven't spoken months. Like, what's going on? And so he's just like, oh, like, what are you doing tonight? You know, I haven't seen you, I haven't talked to you in a while. Like, what are you doing tonight? Like, I want to see you, da da da. And I'm like, well, tonight I'm busy. Like, what? First of all, you don't hit me up after not talking to me for a long time only to say that you want to link up and we haven't even spoke. Like, that's weird. I'm not doing that with you. Sorry, but you're not. It's not even worth my time at this point. Like, cuz you're so inconsistent. One time when we were supposed to link up, this was when stuff started to kind of like, they had kind of started like easing stuff with the pandemic. They had kind of started easing stuff like a little bit, and we could go to like outdoor dining. Girl, we were supposed to link up one Sunday, and we was supposed to go somewhere and watch the game, and he flaked. Like, I called him, I got off, he was like texting me. I was like, again, at night, every time when we would be linking up, after a certain time, like, I would no longer hear from him, and then I wouldn't hear from him until the next day. So I'm like, okay, like, you got a girlfriend, like, something's up. So one day we were supposed to link up, and I had got off, and he was like, oh, what time do you get off? And I'm like, oh, I get off at 9. So when I get off, you know, we can link up or whatever. He's like, okay, cool. Girl, 9 come, I get off. I'm waiting. Like, I'm literally, like, outside waiting. Girl, my camera be overheating. So anyway, like I was saying. So, okay. So, yeah, he hit me up this one night and was like, yeah, what are you doing? I was like, I'm busy. He's like, okay, well, you know, I hadn't talked to you or seen you. Send me a picture. So I'm like, this nigga with the antics, it's just getting so old, and I'm just over it. But I was just like, I don't even know if I sent him a picture. I don't even remember. I think I did send him a picture. During this period of time, this was now October of 2021, that he and I had begun being consistent. Somewhat. We had became more consistent. Well, he had became more consistent. So we're texting, you know, maybe every couple days or so, you know, texting or. So I noticed, like, again, he had picked back up with, like, every time I would call, it would just not go through, or he would not answer, and I was just like, hey, like, what's going on? Like, I need to know what's tea, because at this point, I'm going to block you because I just feel like you're playing games, yada, yada, yada. Of course, I didn't get a response. It would always be like him responding on his own time, or us talking on his own time. And, you know, it was never like, it was just weird vibes. It was always weird vibes. He was always asking for pictures. You kind of just know when somebody is playing games. Like, you have an idea. I want to say, like, this same week, this is what, we're texting and we're like about to meet up for the weekend. Right? Okay. So I'm like, all right, I'm not really holding my breath on it. Like, I'm just like not like looking forward to it really. The weekend comes, of course we don't link up. I forgot. I think I canceled this time. I don't remember. If I can find the messages, I'm gonna put them on the screen so that y'all can kind of see like what I'm talking about. So Monday comes. Monday for the next week has now came. I'm in a meeting. It's like early in the morning. It's Monday. And I get a call from him. And I'm like, wait a minute. This man has never called me. Like, ever. He has never called me in the whole year that we had been, like, communicating. He had not called me. Like, so I'm kind of like, And then you calling me at like 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm in a meeting and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, okay, this is weird. So I text him back. I ignored the call because I'm in a meeting. And I text him back and was like, hey, I'm in a meeting. Like, what's up? So I get a text back and it says, hey, give me a call when you get a second. So I'm like, what's going on? He never calls me, and then he never tells me to like call him. So it's weird. Tell me why. So I leave my meeting, not really thinking nothing of it. I leave the meeting and I was like, you know, Mondays for me are kind of like busy when I was working at the salon. Like, Mondays are kind of busy for me. So like, can you just text me? I hope for the sake of this video that I can find the messages. I'm going to look on my computer because I think I deleted them. But I think I have screenshots. But I really got to dig to find these messages. So anyway, basically what happened was the girl wrote me and was like, hey, I just want to know, this is such and such fiance. And she was like, she's like, me and him are getting married this weekend, and I just want to know, how long have y'all been talking? She was like, I want to know, because she's asking me like all these questions. She's like, I want to know how long y'all been talking. When did this happen? Have y'all been intimate? Like, she's just asking me all these questions. She's like, you know, we have a 3-month-old daughter. We're getting married on Saturday. It's Monday. Okay, we have been communicating. And she's like, you know, we're getting married on Saturday. And I just want to know, like, how long y'all been talking? How long have y'all been intimate? When's the last time you saw him? Oh, and this was another key thing that I forgot to tell y'all. Every time he would ask me for pictures, I would be like, why don't you follow me on Instagram? Or why don't you like, because at this point I'm sending him my Instagram pictures because I don't have any other pictures to send you. And so he's just telling me like, oh, I don't have a social media. But I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I already know you're lying. Like, you're lying. You have social media. Like, every time I would ask him about social media, he would tell me, like, he don't have social media. But I'm like, I feel like you're lying because if you're on, like, a dating app, 9 times out of 10, if you're on a dating app, you have social media. Like, you're lying. There's clearly something that you're hiding. But, again, I'm with the games. Like, let's play them, you know? So she's just like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, you know, what all of this is, because, you know, she's just like, I'm just trying to figure things out because clearly, you know, he's on, like, I'm posting on his Instagram with him, his wife. I'm on his Instagram, and so is our 3-month-old child. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, you know, why you didn't know this or who you are, and if you just don't care. Now, sis, first of all, if you thought I knew, I didn't know. So at this point, I'm like, okay, sis is going crazy. And I'm like, I'm not about to go back and forth with you through text. So I was like, hey, I'm driving right now. Like, at this time, I'm driving. Like, I'm leaving the salon and I'm on my way to the other salon location. So I was like, hey, give me like 15-20 minutes and I'll call you when I'm not driving. She's like, okay. She's like, please call me. Like, girl, she's like going crazy. She's like, please call me. Like, you know, I just really want to get to the bottom of it because we're getting married this weekend. I just need to know, like, what's going on. Da, da, da. So I'm like, girl, I'm going to give you all the tea, but just give me a second because I'm driving. So I call her. You know, she's just like, hey, she's just like, you know, I'm sorry to, like, she's like, I just want to know, like, what's going on. Like, she's just like, how did you not know about me? How did you not know about our 3-month-old child? We're getting married this weekend. She's like, all of this is on his social media, so I don't understand, like, how you didn't, like, how did you miss all of this? I was like, first of all, me and such have been talking for maybe over a year now. We've never met up. We were never intimate. Every time, you know, we attempted to meet up, it was always him flaking. You know, he's very inconsistent, so I never took him serious. You know, I told her pretty much everything I just told y'all. Like, he's just been hella inconsistent. So, you know, I'm telling her, like, you know, he's just been inconsistent. So we've been talking for over a year. We never met up because he's just been inconsistent. She's like, okay, so tell me, like, what do y'all be talking about? She was like, because every time, she was like basically telling me, like, he deletes all of our messages, and so that makes sense as to why he always would tell me to send him pictures. I guess, I don't know if he forgets what I look like because he had been deleting our messages, like, basically just lying, you know what I'm saying? So I was just like, and then this makes sense, like, why he would never answer the phone, because obviously he has a whole family, you know? So she was asking me, like, a lot of questions, and I was just like, girl, it kind of sounded like she didn't really believe me, but she, you know how females are, like, females always want to blame the woman as opposed to checking the male for some reason. But she wasn't rude. I wasn't rude to her. I was just like, you know, letting her know what was up, and that was really it. She was just like, well, can you just do me a favor and just block him and, you know, block his number and don't talk to him anymore. You know, if he reaches out to you, just don't respond. And I'm like, first of all, girl, who you talking to? It's like, but for real. Girl, I just feel like you need to check him. Like, why are you trying to ask me what's up and you need to check him? And at this time, we're talking from her phone. Like, she texted me from his phone, but when we were talking, she was like, can I call you from my phone, or can you call this number, because I don't want him to know that I got your number. Like, she don't want him to know that, you know, she reached out to me, and it would look crazy if she reached out to me on his phone. So I was like, yeah, that's fine. So that's how we started talking, and then she was just like, you know, we just had a daughter. We're getting married this weekend. Like, I don't understand, like, you know, why, you know, this has been continuing. She was just like, do you feel like y'all were ever serious? Or, like, what were your intentions? I was like, baby, I ain't had no intentions with this man. Like, like we were both, he told me from jump, you know, he don't want nothing serious. I think he just wanted sex with me, honestly. I think he wanted like a fling because of every time he would text me, you know, it would just be so random and there was really nothing that he would have to offer besides linking up or meeting up or whatever. So I was just like, you know, I don't feel like, you know, it was like he's trying to pursue a relationship, like, because I wasn't. And we both like agreed that we would just kind of would see where things would go because of the simple fact that, you know, we neither of us wanted to be in relationships, but he don't want to be in a relationship because he got a whole other thing going on, you know. So she's just like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, pretty much just like sums up like dating. It just goes to show you like from the beginning the red flags was there. And again, I didn't really care because I didn't plan on taking it serious. Like clearly our relationship never went past texting. Like girl, we didn't even talk on the phone. You know what I'm saying? Well, we talked on the phone maybe a few times, okay? But again, everything was so sus about this situation and I knew something was up. Like I felt in my spirit something was really up with him and I was just like I don't know what it is, but something is off with this man. Like I just feel like guys really don't be flaking unless they got something going on. Women flake. Women are flakes, okay? Women will flake you if they really not feeling you or if they, you know, just got something else, you know, somebody else got their attention. Women will flake you. Women will ghost you. I mean, guys will ghost you too, but it's just rare that I think it's not as common for a man to initiate y'all linking up, y'all going out, and then he flake. Because it's like, why would he initiate it only for him to flake? Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like in my experience at least, I find that guys really don't be like flaking. Like if anything, you can always tell something's up with a guy because they just not as slick. And like I hate to say it and I hate for it to sound like women are like better at anything, but I'm saying this like in all honesty and just in my perception, in my opinion, I just feel like women are a lot more sneakier than guys and they know how to like move. And so if a guy tries to be sneaky or he tries to move funny, you can instantly catch it because guys just, they just messy. Like guys just, they don't have it like women do. You know what I'm saying? Like women can play games all day long and it just be like, okay, she playing games, you know. But when guys play games, it just be like so obvious. Like women play games and it's like sometimes it's obvious, but he really gotta ask his homeboys because he really don't know. You know what I'm saying? But when guys play games, it's like we kind of like can pick it up almost immediately, or our female intuition will pick it up like almost instantly. Again, I knew instantly that he was playing games. Where's my highlight? So girl, basically after that, you know, I did end up blocking his number because I was just like, you know, this is like weird. Like I don't even want to associate myself with somebody who is like willingly being stupid and then you're just like, you're being messy. And then it's just like too much. Like you have, oh, she too bright. I had to blend that in a little bit. But for me, it was just like, whoa, like I will never come between a married man. Like a married man, bro, like that's wild. Like that's a different type of karma. And I just feel like because I want to get married one day, like I would never want somebody to disrespect my relationship or my marriage in any way. I would never want anybody to disrespect my marriage or my relationship in any way. And I just believe that karma, I just don't want that. You know what I'm saying? On top of the fact that you're just literally like a scumbag. Like you have a 3-month-old child. Girl, let's fast forward. Okay, so all of that happens, right? Yes, there's more. Not too much more, but there's more. This was, when did this happen? This was in October. I forgot the timeline. Again, I'm gonna do my best to find these messages so I can quote y'all. So I can quote the right dates at least. Girl, tell me why. You know how I feel like he still don't know to this day because I mean, did I block him? I don't know. I don't remember. I think I did block him. But you know how TikTok will show up from people who are in your contacts? Girl, why he show up on my For You page? This man shows up on my For You page one day on TikTok. The video that popped up on my For You page was of him and his family. He was out with the girl. I guess his wife. I don't know if they ended up getting married or not. I really don't know. I don't think I would marry somebody if I found out before we even got married that you were cheating on me. Because, like, I mean, sis, how many red flags do you need? So, like, I mean, seriously. I'll go to the page. The video was of him, and he was like, I think he was like dancing, and he was like with his family. I was like, oh, the guy who said he didn't have social media, the guy who's about to get married, the guy who just had a 3-month-old baby. Look who pops up on my For You page, girl. The power of social media. I go to his page and I see his whole life on his TikTok, and he's like happily, oh, this lash isn't trying to stick. I had to fix my lash. Yeah, I go to his page and there's his whole life, his family, his wife, and their child that they just had. This is like a baby. I'm like, oh, this is the same guy. Like, okay, yeah. Girl, I just laughed. Honestly, all I could do was just laugh. And I just kept scrolling. Like, I backed out of his page and I just kept it moving. Like, what else am I supposed to do, you know? Like, it is what it is. But the moral of the story is all of that happened, and it just was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was just like, see, this is why I don't waste my time. Like, I wasn't even mad when I found out. I wasn't even mad because I was just like, I low-key like expected this because I seen the red flags throughout the course of our time talking. Like, I seen the red flags. I knew, you know, something was off. I just knew, you know. Nothing even had to happen. I just knew. And it just goes to show you that, like, whatever is done in the dark will always come to the light. No matter how you try to twist it, spin it, move it, it's always going to come to the light. Like, you just gotta, it is what it is, you know. It just was so funny how, like, even like after like a whole year and some change, like, stuff just started coming out. Like, I don't know. But as far as dating in LA, I mean, I haven't like truly started to take anybody serious because I don't even take myself serious right now. I don't even take myself serious right now. Like, why would I take somebody serious? I don't even take my own self serious. The moral of the story is the moral of the story is, if you feel like, now granted, I didn't get played. Like, let's be clear. Again, I saw the signs, I saw the red flags, and I already knew something was off. So I knew something was off from jump. Like, it's not like, that's why it really wasn't a huge shock to me, because I feel like I kind of knew something was up with him. Like, I was like, and when she told me, like, when I talked to the girl, I really shouldn't have did this liner. Ooh, is this pretty? That's why it didn't really come as a surprise to me, because I kind of like knew, like, this dude is like, he had it, something's up with him. But it is what it is, girl. It is what it is. That is the story. That is what happened. This is my nice little like glammy look. I think I need a little bit of blush. I really want to know what y'all think about this whole story, and like, what are your thoughts? Like, how would you have handled it, and what would you have done differently? Because, girl, this was a mess. Like, seriously. But it is what it is. It really is what it is. I can't help but be mad. I can't help but laugh about it, because it's just like, I mean, are we surprised? Just saying. Yeah, this is my makeup look for today. Let me know. I really want to hear from y'all about this on this story, and I really want to know like what you guys think about this. And let me know what you're thinking. What's your thoughts? How you would have handled this, and anything else that you might want to add. Thank you so much for watching this video, and